Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is July 24th, 2025, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, U.S. markets roar back to their highs, but first looking at today's major economic events, we have a bunch of Flash Manufacturing and Services PMI numbers coming out. 9:15 from France, then 9:30 from Germany, and then 10:30 from Great Britain, and then later in the day at 3:30 from the United States. Now, before that, at 2:15 South African time from the European Union, we have a main refinancing rate from the ECB, the European Central Bank. Now, looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, US dollar continues to weaken versus the major pairs, and looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq on their highs. Gold continues to slide lower, and as we look at the stocks, kind of interesting. JP Morgan on its highs, while Netflix continues to slide lower. Big tech really unchanged. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin continues to consolidate and unchanged around its highs. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD. Now a decent move, and it's a decent trend versus the dollar. The EU getting much stronger. The euro really getting much stronger versus the dollar, back to its highs. Okay, as this inches back to 118-ish level. Now it's across the board. GBP also catching up, not as strong, and that continues to be the case. The euro stronger versus the dollar than the GBP. And lastly, let's take a look at the Japanese yen. Yes, it got weaker versus the dollar, and this is what's a little bit disconcerting, because this should have been a little bit stronger as well. Now, it is getting stronger as it's, hitting its low, but not stronger enough where it's hitting 143. Okay, so keep that in mind as we look at the Japanese yen. Now, jumping into commodities, gold retracing here, a decent retracement, and this is just so easy peasy Japanesey, no pun intended, because what's happening here is that every time we hit major resistance area, we retrace, and that's exactly what happened here. So it's not like a big trade. It's about 70 points, not bad, okay, if you did catch it on the downside. Now looking at the US markets, let's take a look at the Nasdaq first on its dead highs, 23,200, and as we look at the Dow Jones, also on its record highs, okay, as it's on all-time record highs. Didn't break new highs, but it's on its record highs. Now, what I'd like to see is some sort of breakout. Now, what is breaking out? JP Morgan is breaking out, okay, on its highs here at 296. Bank of America is not on its highs, okay, but it is towards its highs. Now, this is what it gets interesting. Microsoft is not on its highs, okay, and its high is 513. It's off of its highs about $8. The question is whether or not we're going to see the markets actually catch up to the indices, right? We're going to see the stocks catch up to the indices, or vice versa. There's a discrepancy here. The indices are on their highs, the stocks are not. So there's that discrepancy has to be filled. Okay, whether or not it's the indices are going to get weaker or the stocks are going to catch up to that index. Okay, that's super important as we enter this moment in trading. Now looking at the other majors, Amazon towards its highs, and Google coming out with its quarterly earning reports. No surprises there. It did have a little bit of a rally into that number. Okay, so we're still there. Now, NVIDIA, it's just off of its highs about $3. Okay, again, not a big deal, but I'd like to see it break higher if it's going to sustain this index on its highs. Lastly, looking at Bitcoin, continues to consolidate and unchanged around this higher range, okay, between 117 and 121, but we're just right there. Okay, either case, whether you want to go higher or lower, it's fine with me. Just make a case. Okay, there's a lot of churning in this area, and some day traders, okay, can take advantage of this very tight range, okay, for Bitcoin to be trading between these two limits. So keep that in mind as we're looking at Bitcoin later today. So we should have a breakout in one way or another in the next day or two, but keep this on the radar. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.
My advice, this is the best time to trade.